So word on the street is one of your controllers isn't working. Like a button's not working, or left isn't working, or something dumb like that. It doesn't matter what controller it is. Maybe you got the controller used, maybe you haven't used it in a long time, but you need to open this guy up. Because it's really simple normally when something's not working on the inside, with the exception of analog sticks. So for all you people who never really open up controllers and systems and stuff, you just need to get the screws out, check it out. This is a Genesis controller that I bought a couple days ago. I just never tested it out. And then today I was playing games with my friend Evan, trying to play Streets of Rage, and he couldn't use his special or something like that. I think that's A on Streets of Rage, your special move. And so I plug my controller in and it works just fine on his character. So I had to give him the Model 2 controller I had, so we kind of worked through that. But anyway, I just now opened this guy up, and it's pretty obvious what the problem is here. One of these buttons is not like the others. Did you figure it out yet? This one. And if you look here, it's really dirty. It's got some sort of like oxidation, or some sort of hella disgusting something spilled in there. It looks like battery acid or something crazy, but I'm sure it'll come off with just some alcohol here. So I'm gonna set this aside. I've got a rag. I've got some isopropyl alcohol. I mean, water might just work great on this, but I don't have any water next to me. I'd have to go to the bathroom for that, so I'm going to use alcohol. Anyway, you just want to wipe this guy up. Hopefully there's no it's not actually broken. None of the traces are broken here, so give it a good wipe. It's already starting to clean up there. You can see that. Still got some residue around the edge. If you look at the rag, it's kind of turning green. I don't really like that. That's really scary. I don't like green residue on stuff, because that's generally pretty gross. So I'm gonna keep cleaning this guy. It looks like the actual contacts are really pretty much dirty as hell. In fact, they might be totally screwed. It's possible. It's gonna take some serious work, I think. Looks like they've been completely oxidized over or coated and whatever. Maybe some water might be a little bit better. Some things like food type stains and collections of junk will come off with water, obviously, a lot easier than they will with like a solvent like alcohol or a paint thinner. But this looks like it's getting some of it off. The problem here is, if you look closely, I don't like the fact that the circuit board trace has kind of been worn off on the edge here, around the problem area. And then, as well, you can see, if you look at these, you can see little finger type things going up and down. And on this one, you can only see the ones going up, which means the ones going down are really dirty, or possibly even missing. I think they're okay. I think they're just really dirty and disgusting. Something serious really happened to this button here, and I hope I can salvage it. Because I don't remember any other local places to get 3-button controllers. I grabbed the last one at this pawn shop, so. Okay, now we're gonna try the water. See what that does. I'm just kind of gently rubbing here. I don't think it's doing a great job. I think some of this stuff is just really on there, whatever the hell got spilled in this. And it's really kind of not awesome that the circuit board is kind of coming apart here a little bit. The way these are made is it's just basically a thin piece of metal that's going through the board, and then it's got a coating over it, so obviously it won't short itself out on the surface. And those spots that I pointed out, these shiny spots in the corner, that coating has actually come off somehow due to either whatever's been rubbed on there or spilled in there, or from a rubbing or something like that. So I don't know. I don't see these pins getting any better, really. This might be a lost cause. You can still see that four little finger things going up, but there should be 3 in between those, like on the other ones. That basically, if you don't realize this, I'm sure it's been covered in other videos, the way these work is this little black part in the inside of the rubber membrane, which is under the button, is actually conductive. And basically what it does is it touches that spot between these two kind of connections, which are intertwined like fingers, like that, and basically makes the circuit, finishes the connection with that little piece of conductive rubber. So if one of these sides of fingers isn't gonna get clean, or if it's damaged, then that button is not gonna work. So I'm gonna work on this a little bit more, and hopefully I can get some results out of it. So here's what it looks like up close. It's really peculiar that where's the focus point? This side, the right side of these little fingers are, it's nice and shiny. And the left side, I actually kind of had to scrape away, kind of with a screwdriver, the shit that was still on there, whatever destroyed this button, and it's lost its shiny coating or whatever's on there, and it's down to this kind of whatever the underlying copper is, and I'm hoping that that's still conductive enough for the little rubber button pad thing. But I don't know, we'll have to see. I'll put it back together here in a minute and try it out. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And obviously you also want to make sure these are nice and clean as well. As you can see, this is the A button, which is the one that's kind of screwed up, and it's got that same green disgusting junk, oxidation or whatever the hell it is, all over the button. This controller is not very clean in the first place, but you want to make sure you clean these off really good. Don't want to use any harsh solvents or anything. Water should be fine as long as that looks black again on the center of the buttons. You should be good. Like this one up here looks pretty nice. So that one does not look pretty nice. So I'm going to clean those off as well. Okay, I found the problem here. It's I tested it out and I cannot get this button to work. As you can see, I kind of actually sanded to try and clean up this area, and it's some really fine sandpaper. This is like a 280 grit or something like that. Doesn't look that fine up close, but basically using a multimeter, I found that this spot right here where my fingernail is not getting through there somehow. So I think what I'm going to do is basically kind of wear this away a little bit more so I can put some solder on there, and I'm just going to bridge it with solder and make sure that connection's getting through just fine. And you don't want to solder obviously on this center, circular area, especially on those little lines, because pretty important for that to be nice and flat for the little button to work. But here, and here, I found some more breaks in the board that I didn't really like. I had to scrape away a lot of this just fucking horrible stuff on there, and underneath was nothing. It was just the plastic or the PCB board and no contact. So I think it'll work just fine, even though this kind of pushes up a little bit. The solder isn't very flat. It's not really on an important part of the actual pad. I'm thinking this the black part's the most important part, and it's going to fit just fine.